Okay, we're live. Hello, welcome to Become the Change Weekly Hangout. My name's Sandy Levesque. I'm here with a special guest who we'll be hearing from in a little bit. And I've just been laughing actually because I just saw this joke today which really made me chuckle. And I was thinking, it's quite sad when you have to actually look up jokes, but I just don't have a memory for them. But I love laughing, and the joke was, who is a who's an actor who is really scared of Christmas? And I can't even say it without laughing. And the answer is Noel Coward. so, so hopefully that made you all laugh as much as it
I'm
made me
looking for
laugh.
the boo button. Is there a boo button
I
on
know.
here?
Exactly. So yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm sorry. But on a more topical note, this is a weekly mini workshop which is dedicated to three things really: becoming the change that you would like to see in the world, and getting clearer about what that change is, and how you can use the internet and social media to have more of an impact in doing that, and talking about the things that you care about, and also interviews and case studies of people who are what I call conscious activists, people who have made waves in the world, who are doing stuff or have done stuff. They could also be dead sometimes. We do talk to dead people too. In a good way. Okay, now I just freaked everyone out. Oh, and Tracy's wearing a goggle mask. Excellent. So, so this hangout will be for you if you know that you're intrigued by the internet and how you can use it to further your work, and also perhaps to improve your own lifestyle. Because I truly believe that the internet is just an amazing tool which can really free you from a lot of the cages people put themselves in, with having to go to a job in one place all the time, or having to always be in one city, or even just having to sort of do 8 hours a day in whatever they're doing, because that's just what normal society does. I truly believe that you can be like Neo and sort of step outside of that, and create your own reality. And the internet is an amazing way to start doing that. I'm actually coming to you from Portugal for the first time ever. In fact, I think I'll just show everyone the view. We have people watching from all over the world, so hi everyone. It's great to have you here. If you want to leave us any Q&A, then I don't. Can you see the sea in the background? Very vaguely. Not really. I just like. Yay! I love the sound effects. In the house I'm renting, I actually have my own office up in the top of the house, which is where I'm talking to you guys now. So I can see the sea, but I'm afraid there's no way for me to put it in my background. But today we're talking about how to become irresistible to everyone that you come into contact with on the internet. And whether you have an online business or you don't, this is going to be really useful to you. If you have a website or a blog or any kind of product or service that you're marketing on the internet, you need to have a way for people to actually take that step from just seeing what you do to actually, yeah, I want more information about this. It's like if you're in a shop and you have people coming into the shop. It's that step from them just walking around and perusing stuff, looking at t-shirts and trousers, whatever, and jeans. It's that step from them doing that to actually saying, "Can I try this on?" Or what other sizes have you got this in, or what color do you have this in? It's that kind of the next step. And a lot of people don't get this stage right, and I was inspired to make this Become the Change all about this topic because I've just seen a lot of people doing what we're going to be talking about in non-effective ways. So if that's you, you're in the right place. And just in case you don't know anything about my story, very quickly, I was a campaigner and an activist using mainly offline methods, actually, like organizing meetings and rallies, going to Parliament, doing press stuff for 10 years in the UK. Got very ill and decided to focus on happier stuff instead, which has brought me to what we're doing here, to the internet, because I truly believe that you can actually change your own life and start to inspire other people and reach a lot of people through the internet. So that's what I'm passionate about, and really grateful for everyone watching this, whether you're here live or in the future. You know, not literally in the future like Michael J. Fox, but you know what I mean, watching this in the future. So I'm going to show you some really geeky slides that I have for you, because they'll help you. You know, I'm actually a very visual person. If someone's just talking at me, I personally find it harder to actually understand what they're talking about. And so I know that for some of you, you might be more auditory. You know, you might take information through listening. But I know for people like me, I like having pictures of stuff, stuff you can see. So I'm just going to put on the Q&A. So feel free to leave us a question or a comment if you're not understanding anything that I've said, or if the jokes are just too bad that you have to just get off this hangout immediately. Well, I just have to wait a second for it to do that. I'm going to be explaining what is a lead magnet, different types of lead magnets, how to have the mindset behind your lead magnet, how to frame it so that people instantly know it applies to them when they see it, and how you can actually learn from a real-life case study. You might have guessed who that is coming up here, and it's taking ages to download the Q&A app. So I might have to tell another really bad joke, but I hope that I won't. So once we've got the Q&A box open, I'd love to know, for those of you guys watching, who amongst you has already got a lead magnet? Okay, apparently Google can't load the app. Okay, you're going to have to comment in the event itself on Google, which is not ideal, or on Facebook. There's actually a Become the Change Facebook group, so you can go into there and leave a comment. I'm going to open that up on my screen so that I can see that when you're commenting in there. Okay, so right, so I'm going to show you the slides I've got here to help you understand this whole thing about becoming irresistible, so that you can actually become more effective. It's like working smart instead of working harder. So let's share the screen. And here we go. Right, so now you should be able to see my slide share. And I am not technical enough, I'm afraid, to know how to actually make this all we see, because I've done that before and then it all went wrong. So, although let's just see here if we can. Slides, help, present. Okay, we'll try this. Right. Okay, so lead magnets. And if that word makes you want to fall asleep, then I would think about it this way. You know, if you're writing blogs, or you're doing, you know, any kind of videos. Oh, okay. Apparently Google is not having it's not helping me out here. Oh dear. Okay, so we'll stop that. Okay, we're just going to do it the regular way. Okay, so how to be irresistible and why create a lead magnet. Okay, so first of all, what is a lead magnet? This is a definition one of my mentors uses, and I really like it. It's very simple, and it gets to the point. Something that solves a problem in your field or marketplace that you gift in exchange for contact information. So types of lead magnets are mind maps, videos, audios, resource guides, ebooks, training series. And just so that you know exactly what I'm talking about, here's an example. This is actually a capture page, and this might sound like jargon, but don't worry too much about it. It's actually just a page where it's like the page where you put your lead magnet, where you say to people, look, if you want to have more information about what I do, enter your email address here and you'll get this or that. You know, you'll get something in return. And one of my biggest mentors with online marketing, he always says, even if you're you know, a massage therapist or you're a private chef, he would always send people to a capture page when they ask for information, or he's putting his website somewhere, rather than a website. Because the thing with just showing someone your website is that a lot of the time people will just look it around and then kind of disappear again. and they'll forget about you probably, or they might come back, but it will take a few times. And you can actually speed up the process by sending them to a page like this, which is called a capture page, where they can get something like a gift. You can even say to people, yeah, I'm a massage therapist. I have a free PDF about stretches for the for people that sit in offices all day long, or something like that. And you can send them a link, and they would get that guide with the stretches in return for putting their email address in here. Okay, so in my example, the lead magnet is actually whatever I'm doing, which has allowed me to do this. Here I'm saying, become the change. How a broke dance instructor learned a skill set, began traveling the world, and now works from her laptop.
Sandy, sorry.
Yeah.
Are you trying to screen share?
Yeah. Is it not showing it?
It's you. We're looking at you.
Oh,
as
really?
wonderful as that is.
Oh crap. Whoops. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah. I love all the sound effects. I'm sorry, everyone. I thought that the screen share was working. Okay, let's try this again, and we'll see if we can get it working. Okay. Right, so Tracy, can you see, what can you see right now? Oh, okay.
Become the change.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, thanks for speaking up and letting me know, because I would have carried on blabbering on without having any clue about that. Yeah, and there would have been crickets in the background. Exactly. So, so as I was saying, let's just come back here so you can see what I just described. A lead magnet, something that solves a problem, and this is really key. This part here solves a problem. You might, if you're taking notes, I would write that down because a lot of people kind of neglect that part. In your field or marketplace that you gift in exchange for contact information. And we said that the types of lead magnets are mind maps, videos, audios like MP3s, or resource guides, reports, ebooks, training series. And I was just walking you guys through this example of one of mine, okay, where basically I'm offering the information of how I've done this, what's literally become my lifestyle of traveling, working from my MacBook. I'm offering to share how I'm doing that with people in return for them putting their email address in this green box here, okay? So the thing you want to know before you actually start to create a lead magnet is, what change are you creating? Why are you doing what you do? Because a lot of the time people just decide, let's use that massage therapist example. I want to get loads of clients so that I can do massages. Well, that's fine, but you might find that a month or two down the line, or 3 months down the line, and I've literally seen this with some friends of mine, because I have quite a lot of massage therapist friends, the inspiration can run dry after you've done a massage 100 times, And what differentiates people that have the drive to keep going and who genuinely love what they do is they know the bigger picture behind it. They have a vision for what they're doing. Like, for example, with a massage therapist, maybe they see so many ill people all around them. Maybe they've had lots of people with cancer in their family. This is just one real-life example I know. And they decided to go on a mission to help change that in whatever way they could, by helping people be better in their body, more educated about their body, and to have a better connection with it. And so this one massage therapist friend of mine, he always talks about that. And he is so successful, compared to another friend of mine who just talks about what he does and is kind of, does okay, but it's not exactly, you can just feel it's a really different energy. His business is much more in the survival mode. The first guy is much more in a thrival. He's booked up all the time, and is even going to be taking on a second therapist. So, this is actually, it sounds quite theoretical, but it makes a massive difference, and a really well-known example of this that it can help you to get it. And I liked it because it has a funny little detail here in the apple picture, which I only noticed afterwards. That's actually Steve Jobs in the Apple. But Apple was a great example because, there's a great talk on YouTube about this called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And he uses Apple as an example because, at a time when most people who are doing computers were talking about, our Dell computer has a great printer, or it's got a 13-inch screen, or you can do this and that, even as I just said that, I'm pretty sure you probably all started to fall asleep. Apple comes along and talks about the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and square holes, the ones who see things differently, the ones who change things, who push the human race forward, the ones who others see as crazy but we see as geniuses, because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And that's been quoted so much since he said this. But, why did he say this? He said it because part of what drove him was making computers that were sexy, that people were proud to have, that were better than all the other computers, that were easier to use, that people that were a little bit different and were willing to pay a little bit more would buy. They didn't want to make computers for Mr. Everybody, the girl next door, and Joe everybody. They wanted to make computers for people who would like the design, who'd like the sexiness of their computers. And they found a way to sort of illustrate that with this philosophy. So I call it like the philosophy behind what you do. And so what is your philosophy behind what you do? You really need to know that before you make a lead magnet. Because otherwise, I could have made a lead magnet about, I created a YouTube channel with over 10,000 views a month, which is a true fact. But I would get a different type of person from the kind of person who'd be attracted to this. And this page has a really high conversion rate, it's called. Basically, the number of people who look at it and actually go ahead and put their email in is over 40%, which, the industry average is about 20%. So you want to aim for above average in everything you're doing to really have an impact in the world. So, I deliberately use words like become the change, traveling the world, working from my laptop, because I want to attract people that are interested in the same things as me, people that have similar goals in life. And I can't, if I was just sitting around talking about, how to get leads and the latest technology on your iPad, I would personally get a little bit bored after half an hour of that. So I'm building a team of people that have similar interests, and that's something that you can do. It's called attraction marketing. But you have to know what change you'd like to create. I want people joining me to really feel like they can make a change in the world and to actually do it in a real tangible way. And that's my philosophy. So what's your philosophy? Because it will help you design a lead magnet. Okay, and the other thing you want to be aware of is who needs what you do. Whether you're a massage therapist or you're, starting an online business, or you're in my team, who needs what you do? Do they know they need it and not have a solution yet, or do they know they need it and know the solution but haven't decided which solution to pick, or do they not know they have a problem? And I have to give credit here to one of my colleagues, Chris Rushello, who designed a sort of chart which really explains this so well, because this has changed all of my marketing, because every time I do anything now, I ask myself these questions. You always want to be thinking, who am I speaking to right now? Because that will affect the kind of lead magnet that you create. So let's just go through that again one more time, and I'm just going to check if there's any questions in the comments area. I wish we could get the Q&A working. Oh, didn't want to do that. Okay, so do they know they need it and not have a solution yet? So let's stick to the massage example. This would be someone who knows they need to take care of their body. Maybe they're having health issues, maybe they're just always achy, maybe they don't feel very good every single day. So they know they need to do something with their health, but they don't know what. Okay, so that would be an example for this first category here. So then the way that you talk to them is going to be different from how you talk to the second type of person, who they know they need it. They know the solution, but they haven't decided which solution. So for example, they know they need massages, but they haven't decided which massage therapist to go with. So your marketing and the way you speak is going to be completely different for that kind of person. For example, you'll be talking about perhaps the kind of different techniques you do within your massage, or maybe the results your previous clients have had, or the kind of oils you use, the way the places and the muscles in the body that you focus on. It's that kind of stuff, compared to the first category where you'll be speaking more about, do you know the best benefits of massage? You can improve your circulation. It can help your body detoxify, all this kind of stuff. As you might be able to tell, I'm quite into massage. I'm not actually a massage therapist, though. But, it's going to be different kinds of information that you're sharing with people. And again, you even have, there's other variances to this, but these are the three main ones as concerns us, I believe. Because the last category is, do they not know they actually have a problem? This would be someone who, massage example, they don't generally feel very good, but they're so used to it, they don't even know that it could be better, They don't even know that it could be nice to have a massage. I remember once, after I really got into massage, I tried buying massages for loads of my friends and family, and my mom as well. And I booked a really expensive massage in a beautiful spa for her birthday, and she never used it ever, and she didn't really want to go because it was inside, and she likes to be outside, and I hadn't really picked that very well. And at another time, I had won a massage in a raffle because I would get them so often, and I gave it away at an event I was doing. I did a raffle to pay it forward. And the person who won it never used it either. She had a whole year to do it. So these are people that don't know they have a problem. They don't know that their life could be better in some way because of whatever it is that you do. It doesn't mean that what you do isn't good. It just means they don't have that awareness yet. Okay? So I'm going to get to a real-life case study in just a moment. So a good lead magnet is something that is specific. It speaks to the desired end result for your person, and it must create a positive expectation. Positive expectation sounds like a fancy word. All it means is the person that you're speaking to needs to see that this is something that they could do, or that this is something that they could wrap their mind around. Like with the massage example, it could be things like saying, what will happen during a massage? You're going to take your clothes off and then lie down on the table. You'll be covered up, so you won't be completely nude, and you'll relax, and there'll be music, like kind of explaining what it is to the person, so they know what's going to happen if they do whatever it is that you do. So to give you a bit more example, with my one here, I say works from her laptop for that same reason, because people are familiar with. People don't really know what skills I'm talking about. They might not be dance instructors. Traveling the world can mean all kinds of things to different people. But working from your laptop, a laptop's a physical thing. It's a pretty, people can imagine having a computer and sitting at it and working from it. That's just kind of one example. To have some kind of way to show people what it is it would involve, on a practical level. And ideally, you want to have strategies that people can apply right away. Okay? So remembering what solution you're providing to the problem that you're solving. So going back to what we said earlier on, solving a problem in your marketplace that you gift in exchange for contact information. So obviously the lead magnet that you create needs to actually do this. It needs to solve a problem in some way. So have a look at what you can brainstorm after we finish here today, or after you finish watching this video, and just ask yourself, what problems do people who would be interested in this have, you know, or what solution does this solve? What problem does this solution solve? That's probably the clearest question you can ask yourself. You know, whatever it is you're doing, who would benefit from this? Who could this be a contribution to? And who is looking for this? And if you just ask yourself those open-ended questions and allow, like, you know, awareness to come to you and ideas to come to you and write them down, it will help you create a really well-targeted lead magnet as opposed to just some random thing that hopefully people will click on so that you get their email address, which is actually what I see a lot of people doing. And that's not always the most effective thing because, yeah, you might get people actually getting your lead magnet, but are they going to be people that genuinely want to be part of what you're doing, that want to be part of your tribe or part of your, I was about to say your gang. You don't have to have any guns, but that was a really bad joke. Oh dear. We need some sound effects, Tracy. Excellent, thank you. It's like a
the sad trombone.
Yeah, exactly. Very appropriate. So you know, because I once one of my mentors, her name's Diane Hockman. I really recommend anyone follow her. I love her approach to lead magnets because she says a lot of people will spend, you know, like 2 weeks making a lead magnet, or a month, or sometimes 3 months making a lead magnet. But actually, you can change your lead magnets fairly often. She will do a training and create a page like the one I showed you and offer that to people. You know, and to get it, they have to enter their email address. Or she'll, if she does a new PDF or something, she'll make that the lead magnet. But she changes them all the time. So that's one way of doing it. Something that I would also be aware of. Oh yeah, so how to create it. You want to know your market. This is what I was about to say, being aware of what challenges do people have. You know, start listening to your friends, to people that you're connected to on social media. Start becoming aware of, you know, what issues or problems are people facing, you know, what's going on in their lives, and where does what you do fit into that? You know, how could it help them in some way? Watch what your peers are doing. You know, some people say your competitors. I kind of prefer the word your peers. Watch what other people in your industry are doing, and the ones who are having success, obviously, because you can model that. And look at what people are saying, so that when you create your lead magnet, you can speak exactly to that, okay? Because you will solve a problem. And another thing is, sometimes people ask, you know, should I do a big lead magnet, or should I do something a bit shorter? And this kind of comes back to what I was just saying about changing up your lead magnets fairly often, not making them too much of a masterpiece. Because I was on a webinar not so long ago. It was really interesting. The guy who was doing this webinar, who's a very successful online marketer, he was saying that he used to make huge, long video training series and massive ebooks, and they would be his lead magnet. You know, he'd say, if you want to do if you want more information about what I do, or to join my newsletter, click here and enter your email address to get this. But what he noticed was that he started to make much shorter ones, like a quick 2-page tool guide, you know, or a 1-page report. And he found that people were much more inclined to click on those than on the big stuff. And his advice was that, you know, people, we get so much information from all over the place all the time that sometimes people don't really want to read an ebook or, you know, watch 8 long videos one after the other. They actually just want something really short and quick they can take away. And he also gave the example of looking at magazines, like physical offline magazines. And a lot of them will give away stuff because that's when they usually have their biggest sales. So like, for example, a photography magazine will often do a free guide to cameras or to camera tripods or equipment that you get as a part of the magazine when you buy it that month. and they have huge success with that. And he was saying the same thing kind of applies to the internet, that sometimes a short PDF or a short report or an audio, because people can listen to audio on their phone, or it doesn't take all of their attention when they're listening to it. You know, people like that kind of stuff because it's easy to digest. And actually, our case study that's coming up has a great example of this. So I'm just going to bring him out, actually, speaking of which. And if there are any questions, then please put them in the... I'll come back to the screen here. In the Facebook group or in the comments below. And I'm going to bring out my case study here. Tracy, are you there? I can see you, so that was a stupid question.
Me?
You're like, hang on, let me just check.
Wait a second. All right. Now I'm here.
Excellent.
Yeah, but the sound I really want to just keep hearing is this.
Ka-ching.
That's all I want to hear.
Exactly. Yeah, because when you get this right, you can actually make money easier and have more success with what you're doing. So Tracy's actually a member of my team, and I wanted to bring him out so that he could share with you a lead magnet that he created recently, which has had a lot of success with Facebook, where he was sharing it. And I know, Tracy, there was kind of like a PS to that story, an epilogue after the triumphant result.
It's not totally bad. It's a learning experience, you know?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting for people for you to share that. And Tracy, I want to acknowledge you because Tracy has a history of journalism and editing. He's also an accomplished voice actor. He worked in Korea for, I think, 11 years. Was that it, Tracy?
I worked as a voice actor for about 7 years, and I lived in Korea for 11. 12,
okay.
11.
Right.
A long time. Too long.
Well, we won't go there. But he came to internet stuff, internet marketing, as a newbie, really, because his specialty was offline stuff, printed newspapers and magazines and editing. And he's really taken I'm making this happen. In fact, his tagline is Tracy, make shit happen, start.
I make shit happen, yeah.
And it really yeah, right. I need sound effects here. But you've made things happen quickly, I would say, in your business, because you've already been having a lot of people coming to your newsletter list, a lot of people signing up for your list because of the lead magnet that you actually created yourself. And you've tried different types of lead magnets, because I know you also had an ebook when you first were starting all of this. And you've just taken that. I don't know that much about this right now, but I'm going to learn what I need to know and just apply it, and not, spend months and months waiting for it all to be perfect before I do anything. So I want to acknowledge you for that, and just for making stuff happen. I just think it's brilliant. And everyone watching this, you can learn something from Tracy's story and what he's about to share.
And my willingness to make mistakes and crash and burn and keep coming back like a phoenix.
Well, that's, like Thomas Edison, the guy that created the light bulb. I didn't know until recently. He didn't even go to college or university. I thought he was this big, fancy scientist. But this is a guy that started from very humble beginnings. And he had this determination to create a light bulb, and literally did 10,000 attempts until he finally got the right design and everything working. So he failed 10,000 times. So
do you think when he finally figured out how to make a light bulb, an actual light bulb popped up over his head?
Yeah, exactly. Nice one. I see what you did there.
Oh, it was like a circular thing. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, I like the bathtub. So Tracy, could you share what lead magnet you created and sort of the thought process that went into creating it? And actually, maybe start with the results you've had with it first, and then share with us how you came to make it.
Okay. So you don't want me to go chronologically? Okay. Yeah. Well, like she said, I started out. She being Sandy, I started out with the PDF because my initial target my niche was freelance writers and editors, and so I'll just show you that one real quick. I have a
Yeah.
friend who runs like a writers in Asia group, right? And he's really active, and he had a blog that he did like 1,600 blog posts, and he yes, I'm going to sign this guy into Empower Network very soon. He's very, very resistant, but I will he will come drag kicking and screaming to success with me. But anyway, he wrote an ebook for self-publishing online, and we were just chatting one time, and he mentioned that he was just finishing up this ebook, and I said, well, if you don't plan to sell it, can I borrow it to use as a lead magnet? And he agreed in exchange for me giving him my leads as well, which I included in the disclaimer in the lead magnet, saying, you know, your information will not be shared outside of freelancefreedom.net, which is my website, and One Weird Globe, which is Chris's. So let me show you that.
Mm.
Actually, I just clicked on it, and that doesn't do anything without doing screen share.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which one is it? Is it this one? Oh boy. Have I
Okay.
done anything?
Yeah.
Okay, I
You have.
did. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not it. This is the first lead magnet I did, and this is the lead capture page. Well, my friend wrote this 85-page PDF called the Self-Publishing Workflow for Your First Book, and I read the whole thing. I actually part of the deal was I'd copy edit it for him, and I found mistakes, but I read the whole thing, and it's great, and I really should go back through it and set it up as I have a couple of books that I wrote that I really should go through and follow his process. But this didn't really do that well. And it could be partly because I was new to Facebook advertising, really new. And my target audience, maybe they just weren't receptive. I'm not really sure what it was, but I only got 20 names off of this one, and I only ran it for 10 days, which isn't terrible for your first try, you know, two a day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what I expected. I was hoping that everybody who liked my Facebook fan page would jump on this, give me their email, and you know, then I'd have an instant list of like 300 in a week, which yeah, that takes a little bit of practice to get up to that point. So this is along the lines of what I was doing in Korea and before Korea and since Korea, is editing and writing from my laptop. So as a freelancer. So this is the problem I think a lot of freelancers or, self-styled novelists, writers, poets have, is getting published. So I solved the problem with how to do it yourself, step-by-step guide to self-publishing by my friend Chris Backey, who's self-published 16 books on Amazon and actually made a little bit of money. Nothing really crazy, but that's not that important. So for the do you want me to talk about the capture page or show the other lead magnets?
Well, maybe go to the next one, to the one that you had the results with.
Okay, sure. So when I sort of changed my focus a little bit away from freelance writers, because I was a bit what's the word I'm looking for? Disgruntled with my clients and with freelance writing in general and what I was doing. It wasn't leaving me the time to actually design my own life. So I decided I would focus more on network marketers, people like me, people like Sandy, who want to travel and want to keep working from their laptops. So I used my skills as a voice actor, and I created Think and Grow Rich audiobook. Now, in my Facebook ad, I said, yeah, pretty much what it says here. For years, I looked for a free version of this book, chapter by chapter, in audio form, but had no luck. So as a seasoned voice actor, I decided to record it for myself, record it for you, myself, to thank you for being a friend or follower of the Freelance Freedom blog and or Life of an Expat Marketer on Facebook. Tracy Stark, voice actor, blogger, editor. So so I did this chapter by chapter, and you like my little thing at the bottom to go away. No thanks, I don't want to get it.
Yeah. I love it.
I think anybody would just feel stupid clicking that. Be like, I don't want to click that. I'm just going to close the screen altogether. So, so this capture page, I'll show you the results it got. I have my list of my lead pages here.
Cool.
Think and Grow Rich audio, 54% conversion rate.
Wow.
So
yeah.
269 people clicked it, 144 gave me their information. Now the self-publishing workflow was 30%, 17, and 56. There were a few more, but it came from another link that I put on Facebook, one of the tabs that you can put on your Facebook fan page, but that'll be another webinar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so great thing about lead pages, I'm getting off track a little bit, is that it really tracks everything for you so well. So you can see what totally sucks and what's pretty good. The live event in Nice, that was kind of such a last minute thing that, I think I was lucky to get 3 people to sign up. I rushed it, put it together, slapped it together, and did it. And then the Masters of YouTube Marketing, part of it I think was, well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say why some things fail, but I can show you that one, and maybe, I think that's a pretty good looking lead page myself. It might be a little too busy, but I've seen worse and busier, and it had some good names in Empower, but these names probably don't mean much to anybody outside of Empower. So I probably needed to put a little more information, about why these people are successful.
Exactly. I think that's because that actually comes back to also the where people are at, who you're talking to. Because I think with something like that, you're speaking to people that already know about on internet marketing. They already know they can use YouTube. They know it's a solution, but they're looking at, why should I come to your webinar? And so you want to make it clearer for them, like you just correctly said, Tracy. I think just a one tweak would have been multiple 6-figure earners share their YouTube secrets, because then that would have just given that credibility that these are people that have created way beyond normal success.
Or maybe I should have put Sandy Levesque in bigger letters. Yeah. Well, I mean, I had this here. The website Lead Pages. It's a pay site, but it's so worth it. It sets it up for you, and so here it is. This is a webinar capture page.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thought out for you. My expert panel will reveal, and then you can give 4, 3, 5, whatever things that you're gonna deliver.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, there's this. Sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, I think it's literally just a tweak with that, and even I think I saw that page, and I didn't even really think of that at the time because I didn't have this information about the levels of awareness of where people are at. It's so important with anything that you're doing, whether you're doing marketing or offline marketing or campaigning. Who are you speaking to? Because if I'd seen that now, I think I would have spotted that instantly. I would have been like, okay, he's talking to people who are like level threes. You know, if you, I think I might have to just do a webinar about this this thing we're speaking about right now. It's so critical, and so therefore, when you're speaking to people who already know the solution, they're picking between different people. You really need to give them good incentives for why they should pick you, and make it really obvious. And for a lot of people, that's going to be people that have already had results in the space that you're marketing in, Tracy. So, and that's another example of a lead magnet, which is an actual event. You know, an event that you haven't yet done. It can be something that you've already done. You know, you could even make a.
This was a replay. This is actually the replay link.
Oh, cool! I was about to say.
What I did is after it happened, as soon as we finished, maybe the next day, I went back in and I edited the lead page and just left the link up.
Yeah.
That way, if anybody clicked on it later, you know, if they checked their email and they finally just opened my email 3 days later, it wouldn't say, haha, you missed it. It would say, here's the replay.
Here's the replay. Cool. Yeah. I just think adding in something to show that these people are, because otherwise the only people that would know who those people are people that aren't in your target marketplace, because they're already doing the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also to come back to your thinking, could you just show your Think and Grow Rich lead magnet again, Tracy?
Yep.
I just want to point something out here. I just think, first of all, I want to just acknowledge how amazing it is to have had 144 people ask for this audio in quite a short space of time. You know, this was like over a month or something, was it, Tracy, or less?
I launched it on June 16th.
Okay.
And I didn't really. It was weird because after the event in Charlotte, like I had it turned off for a week while I was gone.
Yeah.
Or maybe I had it turned off for I think a week. The advertising on Facebook, because I didn't want to have to mess with it too much during the event. And then I turned it back on, and I started getting like crazy numbers.
Yeah. I know. I was getting messages from Tracy saying, I've just had 17 people opt in, which is like asked to join the subscriber list in the last hour or something. I was like, wow.
I got 19. 19 was the biggest day.
Yeah.
And I was just stunned because like the price of each opt-in on days like that were so low. You know, and I was running $3 to $5 a day for my Facebook advertising. And at the peak of the success of this lead magnet, 19 was the highest. But on average, it was, during the month of July, it was about 6 to 8. And I can show you. These are Aweber notifications for logins. And this is, and you see on the right, can you see the dates on the right?
Yeah, all in the same day. Yeah.
There's like the 23rd, 22nd. There's a bunch on the 22nd.
Yeah.
A bunch on the 21st, 20th. And that's just the first page.
Yeah.
And maybe, where's my Aweber page? Here we go. So if you don't have Aweber, what are you waiting for? Get it. Well, actually, sorry. Some of you, if you don't have your blog set up and you don't have your URL connected to your blog and sort of a game plan, if you haven't gone through Sandy's game plan video, then you really, if you've gone through that and you're all set, then this is what you need next. And so I just checked the past 30 days, 100 subscribers.
Cool. I love that. And just for people watching who aren't in our team, what Tracy's talking about is getting set up, because basically what we do is it's like an online system where you already have a lot of it already created for you. So if you don't know what we're talking about and you want to be doing it as part of a team, then click the link below this video. There'll be information about how to join the team and a page that can actually, where you can join directly while we're watching this or afterwards. So just for, I'll get back to the person who, wherever you're watching this, just ask the person who sent you here, how can I actually do this too? But what we're sharing, actually, you can apply this to any business. But Tracy's using it specifically for the Empower Network, which is what we're both doing. So And what I wanted to share also, Tracy, about your lead magnet, one of the reasons I think it's been working so well is not only does it have that kind of easy to digest element, because people can download your MP3, put it on their iPhone or their Galaxy or whatever people have, iPod, and just listen to it in the car or when they're driving or whatever. Driving a car would be usually the same time, but not driving a plane. um, yeah,
can listen to
people
it
just get in their car and sit in it. It's quite cozy here. I think I'll stay. So people like. I love it. Thank you. Now I feel really funny. It doesn't happen often. It's better than the opening joke. It's got that easy to digest element. So people see your page and they think, okay, this is something that I would actually like. And I think also what's cool about what you've done, Tracy, is you kind of added this story element to it. For years I looked for a version of this. And you say this book started the personal development industry. So you're kind of sharing a bigger picture. You're like, this book is a book I just love. I want to pass it on, and I want it to be out there. And obviously you're sharing it in return for someone's email address, but you're doing that because your bigger picture is helping people become free. That freelance freedom, it's kind of all linked into your philosophy, like I was saying earlier. So loads of things are going on there that I think just make it really pop.
And I just noticed a spelling error.
Oh, you're kidding?
Expat marketer. I spelled expat.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm some editor. Look at this, Tracy Stark, voice actor, blogger, editor. Go. Well, okay,
oh my God, Tracy, that is actually hilarious.
Are you a pet or an expat?
Where is that? I can't see it.
It's at the bottom in my quote.
Expat marketer.
Yeah. Well, so after I did this, because I enjoy actually recording the books and putting it together and giving it out for free, I decided I'm going to do a whole bunch of them this year.
Yeah.
So I went and I did, because As a Man Thinketh is really short. I went and did that before I even finished editing all Think and Grow Rich chapters. So I put together another one. And, let me just show you the difference with these lead pages. This one, you have to scroll to get to the link, which is, well, there's two links, actually. There's 2 clicks. But this has a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And with lead pages, you can actually eliminate, like I could have gotten rid of this part, but I wanted to give credibility to the ebook that I was offering, so I left that in.
Yeah.
And then this, I didn't really, that's the only thing below the fold is no thanks. I don't want to get rich by thinking. And you can eliminate all those. You can just hide. You can hide all those sections. And so I did this. This was my, this is the lead page that I use, the capture page I use for the last Think and Grow Rich ads that I ran. Now, Think and Grow Rich is a curious thing, because the title makes the Facebook computers go a little crazy.
Yeah.
They see Think and Grow Rich as a get-rich-quick scheme, and so they flag your ad, and then you have to explain it to them, and then they unflag your ad. So I went through that quite a few times with Facebook, and I lost my account, got a new account, and I only got flagged once for it, and I sent a message saying, please mark this somewhere that Think and Grow Rich is actually a book with pages and words, and it was written about 80 or 75 years ago, and I got like a nice note back saying sorry, blah blah blah. But so lead magnets, right? So yeah, I'm going to keep doing these audio lead magnets, because for me it's easy and it's natural, and it's something I've been something I can do, right? Now, not everybody can do an audio book. Everyone can do their own like podcasts. Like, here's a potential lead magnet. If you're really long-winded with your blog writing, record your blog and make it like the equivalent of a podcast, and offer all your blog posts for free on audio. And with lead pages, they actually allow you to upload your lead magnets. Not Think and Grow Rich, because it's so massive, but something smaller, maybe just like a 10-minute audio. You could record that, upload that file to lead pages, and everything is done for you.
Yeah.
So you design your page, you create your lead magnet, you upload your lead magnet to lead pages. Up here, this is the link that I use when I'm
just going to explain quickly, because I'm just aware of not everyone watching this is doing internet marketing, Tracy. So
Oh, sure.
Lead Pages is actually a service which lets people, it makes you create those pretty pages, basically. I mean, that's as simple as I can put it. It's not a free service, and we're not affiliates for it. It's just something we both use. So you can use the same service, or you can actually use something with Aweber, which is an email service, and you can create a thank you page on there or on your website. Like the technical part, in terms of how you actually get people your lead magnet, you would need to actually create some kind of page that you can direct people to after they've entered their email into your page. But presumably, if you're watching at how to make a lead magnet, you probably already know how to. You've probably already got that email stuff sorted out. But if you haven't, you'll need to do that too, because obviously you want to collect people's email addresses, but you need to have an email list to be able to do that. So sometimes people don't realize that. There's no magic cloud in the air that kind of stores it all for you. There is cloud stuff, but it's not, you have to make some technical pieces work. But these are the kinds of systems that once you get them and you have them working for you, Tracy can be sleeping and he had 17 people or something opting in while he's sleeping, or going out and walking in a field of sunflowers, because he lives in Provence in France. So it's like technical stuff. It sounds technical, but once you've got it in place, it's just sits there, and you can tweak it when you need to, but it's there. So you'll need to make sure that you have. I also use Boxnet for PDFs and audios, because I can save them online. That's a free service, and then I make a thank you page. Boxnet.
Boxnet. Okay.
Box.net.com, and that stores my my lead magnets that I create. Whether it's an audio or a PDF. I tend to do those two things, and it stores them there. So then when people have opted into my email, into my page, they're directed to another page where they can download it, or they get an email with the gift in the email. So you obviously want to make sure that you're actually getting people the lead magnets. So make sure you do that. That's kind of like obvious, but sometimes worth just stating. Otherwise, you'll have people that will not be happy because you've said you'll deliver something and you didn't. So yeah.
Yeah, I actually encountered somebody who's been in this business in Empower Network for about a year, and she finally got around to doing a lead page with lead magnet and all this, and I signed up for it, and it went straight to my spam box, and I told her that, and she goes, "Oh, don't worry, there's nothing to deliver yet."
Oh.
So
Okay.
what are you telling me? That's kind of odd. Are you still looking at my screen, or are you looking at you now, Sandy?
We can see your screen, Tracy.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to show you, once I made the lead magnet, and I don't have all of my ads available, I tried to recreate the first ad that did really, really well.
Yeah.
It was this book cover, but it took up the whole thing.
Ah.
Well, Facebook has a problem with that because they say your text has to be limited to 20% of the picture. So I thought I could go around it and create this little thing. Well, I can honestly tell you that this was probably absolutely the worst one I ever made.
Oh.
Nobody liked that one. So So I made a better one with me in it,
Okay.
which I think is another good. And this is not that complicated because I didn't make these ads like ads. I made these as posts, and
But
then I
now
did a
with,
post,
yeah.
a boost post, right? So this is what I redid to get around the 20%
Ah.
thing.
Oh,
So
cool. I like that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
and
So
it's
then it's,
the same story, and then of course the same things to click on here that'll get you
yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
this had 394 likes.
Cool.
Not
Wow, that's
bad.
a lot.
So yeah, since we're just talking about lead magnets, I don't really need to show you my thank you page in the lavender.
Yeah, well, I don't want to confuse people because we were just sort of speaking about lead magnets themselves. So the things to take away from Tracy's story is, he had a very useful lead magnet for people, an audio that, has helped thousands of people since the book was written 100 years ago or so. And it's also something that people can easily listen to. And he had a way of sharing it that's kind of inspiring. It's not just here's Think and Grow Rich. It's kind of like, for years I looked for this. This is a book which launched the personal development industry, and then you've taken that one step further by having your picture there, and sharing even more about that story and your background. So that's a really great way of actually knowing who you're speaking to, people that are interested in personal development, and also giving them a lead magnet that's sexy, that they would want, not just some kind of, here's my free training series,
Right.
unless you're like a six-figure, seven-figure person in whatever you're doing. Oftentimes people aren't really going to want to know your training series because, they want to, you need to have certain kind of credibility. It depends on what you're doing. As long as, if you have some kind of result to show what you've done, because for example, one of my lead magnets is about YouTube marketing because I created a channel that had kind of abnormally high levels of people watching it compared to anyone else that in my team and that I know. And so I often do marketing around that because it's an actual thing that I can prove. Over 10,000 views a month, started from zero about a year and a half ago. So I sometimes do lead magnets about that because I have a specific result I can prove to people. So look at, if and the problem that I'm solving in that example is people who are doing YouTube but are not seeing many results, or they're seeing kind of okay results, but they want to expand that. This would help them solve that problem. So you want to always be thinking, why am I doing what I'm doing? Who am I doing it for, and where are they at? This is so critical. Like we were saying earlier, do they know the problem? Do they even know they have a problem? And do you need to convince them that you're the right solution? Where are they? And then having a lead magnet that's sexy, that's something that they would actually want, and not being afraid to change it up. Not being afraid to create different lead magnets, like Tracy's showing us there with the second one that he's now doing. So that kind of recaps everything that we talked about today. Is there anything else that you want to add, Tracy?
Well, I was just going to say with the audio lead magnets that I'm doing, because the way I set it up, when I put it on Dropbox and then people get the link, when they put it on their computer, say in their iTunes folder, it says like Napoleon Hill album artist Tracy Stark. So every time they listen to that, they're going to know it's me. Same with As a Man Thinketh, and then the next one will be, well, what is it? The Science of Getting Rich, and maybe a few titles that Facebook won't give me a lot of crap for.
They're seeing your name, basically, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
so you keep your name out, and just same with the YouTube page. And until I've got more credibility in the marketing space, I'll stick with this, and use my experience as a writer and editor and an expat to
Exactly.
to create.
Expat. I used to be a dog. No, I'm not. Oh my god.
Well, only sometimes.
Oh, Well, thank you so much for coming out, Tracy, and showing us your actual pages and lead magnet and results as well. And well done for doing all of that and continuing to do it as well.
Thank you. And yeah, it's been 100 and since the event, 130, wait, something like 145, 150 names I've
Yeah.
added to the list
So the
since the
event
event.
that he's
So
talking about was a month ago. So that's in the last 30 days. So that's really cool.
yeah, so 7 or 8 a day on average isn't too bad. Um,
Exactly.
I'm shooting for 200 a day, right?
Yes, I know. Oh, cool. Well, thank you, Tracy, and thanks everyone for coming out and watching. If you have any questions about anything that wasn't clear or whatever, then send me a message on Facebook or leave us a comment on the blog that you're reading this on, wherever you're seeing this video. And if you want to be part of what we're doing, if you want to use the internet to start to become more of the change you want to see in the world and have the time and the money to actually do stuff, ka-ching, then click on the link around this video to get more information or to actually just join and to become part of our team, because we're making shit happen, as Tracy says. So great to
Yes.
have you here, Tracy. Have a great
Thank
night,
you.
everyone. I'm sorry that my lighting has got so bad. It's my first time in the office for a hangout, and I'm just realizing I need to do some lighting tweaks. So
I
I
think
should.
we both have great offices, don't we?
Yeah, I know. Exactly. It's I'd rather be here than in a cubicle. Put it that way.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's call out. Bye, everyone. Thank you.